Hi guys, this is Nadmus and you are watching GetWays Solution. In this video, I am going to solve a LeetCode question based on array, and question goes like this. Given an array A of non-negative integer, return an array consisting of all even element of A followed by all the odd element of A. You may return any answer array that satisfies this condition, which means that our input array will be given to us. In that array, we have to shift all the odd element at the beginning and all the odd element at the end and all the even element at the beginning, and it might be in any order. There is no specific order. The only thing is that you have to consider is that all the even element should be at the beginning and all the odd element at the last. So we will try first a simple approach. In this approach, space complexity will be more because we are going to use extra space. Let's take the example given as 3, 1, 2 and 4. So index will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and length will be 4. Let's call it as n, and given array is A. And in first approach, what we will do, we will take a duplicate array of same length, which will be index will be 0, 1, 2 and 3 and length will be 4. And what we will do, when we will find odd element, we will move it to the last position, and again odd element, we will decrement the last position and come here. And when we will find odd even element, we will move it to first position, and again even element, move it to by incrementing this position, we are going to shift it here. So this is the output array. And how we will do this, we will introduce two variables, left and right. Left value will be initialized with 0 and right value will be n-1. And pseudocode for this will go like this. Pseudocode we will introduce two int variable L equal to 0 and R equal to n-1, iterate over the array in step 1. In step 2, iterate over the array. And here we have to initialize with duplicate array also of same length as n, and we have to iterate over array. And if we find in iteration, if we find even value, we have to store at L. In dup array, we have to store at L and we will increment L. And if odd value we will find, we have to store it at, in dup array only, we have to store at right position and we will decrement right after storing. So this is the code, and after that we have to return dup, because dup array is going to be our output. So this is the first situation. In this case, we have to sacrifice our space complexity. Our space complexity is going to change, but nothing will happen with our time complexity since we are iterating only once. So time complexity is going to be O of n, and space complexity will also be O of n, because we are going to use extra space for this array, and we have two variable, and variable didn't count it. Suppose O of n plus 2, it is going to be O of n only. So this is our first solution. In this we have time complexity O of n and space complexity also O of n, and we want even better solution. We will optimize it later, where our time complexity will be O of n, but our space complexity is going to be O of 1. Now we will see this particular pseudocode, implement this particular pseudocode. After implementing this, we will move toward a better solution. So let's implement this. I'll minimize this so that it will be visible. Pseudocode. Introduce int L equal to 0 and R equal to a dot length minus 1. And we have to introduce one dup array also. Dup, it is going to be array of integer type and whose length is going to be new int of size a dot length, and we have to iterate over the array using for loop. We will iterate for int I equal to 0. We can use for each also. We have to type less, so I will use for each. Of course, I always prefer to type less. And our array is A. And if even, how we will check even? If I modulo 2 equal to 0, which means it is even, then what we are going to do, in dup, we will increment L and store I. Else, in dup, we will decrement R and store I, and that's the solution. See how easy it is. And we have to return dup, and I will try to run this solution and see. We'll see the time complexity and space complexity. Submit. Hopefully it will get accepted. We have compile error a dot, our spelling mistake, LENGTH. submit. Yeah, it got accepted. Now we'll see the details how we perform. Yeah, you are here, your runtime beats 99.01 of Java submission, so this is great. But if you see, you are here, your memory uses beats 68.89% of Java submission. Oh my god. Yeah, this is also great. So now we'll see, anyhow, we'll see another approach also. In that approach, we don't have to use this extra space. So let's go to our whiteboard. I expected that we are going to beat only 10% in case of space complexity, but things happen sometimes. So now we'll see another approach. In another approach, we will again go with the array and same array 3, 1, 2, 4, and this time what we are going, we will give index also 0, 1, 2, and 3, and size will be 4, which is going to be n, and array is a. And in this case, we will give again left and right, and we will initialize left with 0 and right with n-1, which is 3 in this case, and we will take one temp variable, simple int temp variable, initialize it with 0, and what we are going to do, we are going to iterate while l less than r. If we find, if this a of l, if this first element is odd, which in this case is odd, if al of mod 2 not equal to 0, then we are going to shift it, exchange this element with the last element. So what we are going to do, in temp, I'm going to store in temp l first, this is post increment, and hopefully you know everything about post increment. In temp of l, we will store a of l, right? And after that, what we are going to do, in a of l, we are going to store a of r, and in a of r, we are going to store temp. It is simple shift. Okay, we are shifting this 3 and 4 using the third variable temp, which is temporary variable, and which we use for shifting. I will minimize it a little bit so that I will come up with more space. So if an element here is odd, then we will do this. Suppose if element here is even already, then we don't have to do anything. So if a of l mod 2 equal to 0, in this case we don't have to do anything, we just have to increment l. And suppose if at last index we have odd element only, then if a of r mod 2 not equal to 0, then we just have to decrement it. Nothing, we don't have to do anything. We have to do shifting only when there is element which is not required. Like the element here, we expect it to be even, but it is odd, then we are doing this. But if expected element are at their respective position, we are not going to do anything. And after doing this, since we are doing in place operation, we are not using any duplicate array, we are manipulating with the original array, we are going to return same a. We don't have to return some other thing, we are returning same array. So let's see same thing in code. Now I will type the code which we have understood already, and we need l and r, and except that we need temp also. Let's give temp here only, and initialize temp with 0. And what we are going to do, we are using while loop while l less than r, and in that, if a of l modulo 2 equal to 0, which means it is even. First we will check for odd, because for odd we have to swap. If this, then we will do what? In temp, we will store our a of l first, and in a of l, a is caps. In a of l, we will store a of r, and in a of r, we will store temp. And here we go. Now we are done with swapping. But when we will do swap, when element at leftmost index is odd. But if it is even, then we are not going to do anything. We are going to see the another element. So if element is even, then we are going to simply increment l. And same with the rightmost also. If a of r is odd, then what we will do? Not equal to 0. Then we are going to simply decrement r minus. And hopefully we are good to go now. Let's try to submit. Yeah, it got accepted, and let's see our time complexity and all other things, how we performed. So our time complexity is same, you beat 99.01%, and our memory uses, wow, our memory uses increase. I don't know how it happened, but Guys, this is the solution. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, consider sharing and subscribing. Thank you.